Hello and welcome to the September Lit Gals. We are excited to have you with us today. We are here on the Keep Indiana Learning YouTube channel, and we will soon be found on your favorite podcast network as well as part of the Kennel Keep Indiana Learning, the Kennel Podcast Network. So we are excited to be a part of that as well. So whether you find us with video or you find us with just your ears, we're happy to be a part of your reading experience. I am Martie Hoofer, Digital Content Manager for Keep Indiana Learning. And Anna, why don't you introduce yourself? All right. I think there we go. Anna, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Anna Cook, and I'm a literacy specialist in Indiana and neighboring states. And I'm so happy to be here.
Hi guys, I'm Morgan Mason. I am one of the professional learning specialists here at Keep Indiana Learning. So my world is mainly early literacy right now.
All right, so go for it, Morgan. What are we talking about today?
Oh yeah, so this is a fun one. So as we were planning for the school year and what we wanted to discuss, one of the things that came up was, do we physically write in books that we are reading? So that could be a professional book, a book for fun. What's your guys' opinion on that? Do you write in books?
Anna, it looks like we might be having some connectivity issues because you are in a school, which I know is your happy place. But talk to us. What do you think about writing in books?
I can't do it, girls. I cannot do it. I mean, for something, something comes over me and I feel like I'm, abusing a book, even if it's my own book. So I've got to tell you what I use. I use Post-it notes. If I want to write myself a little note or a reminder of something, then I write a little Post-it note. And do you know that even when I was teaching, I did the same exact thing in my own books. I would do Post-it notes and little, anecdotal, but I never wrote in a book.
Oh, okay, I have to ask, do you write in like a workbook? If you're doing like a companion study, would you write in a workbook?
I think we might have lost her again.
Think so. I don't know. All right. So Morgan, do you write in books?
So I feel similarly. I don't write in books unless it is I do if it's a professional read that I'm doing, like if I'm doing something for my own professional development, then I will highlight and I will write notes in the book. But if it's something that I'm reading for fun, I don't know. There's something about I feel the same way. I feel like I have to honor the book and not write all over it. So I also use Post-its, or I have the Notes app in my phone. I'll use that to just capture if there's things that I want to remember. But yeah, unless it's a professional book that I'm reading and highlighting and trying to learn something from, I don't write in books.
I am odd man out.
I'm out for this?
Yes, I write in books. Now, if I'm just reading for pleasure, just truly fun, I don't take notes. However, so this is a book I own. I'll talk about it in a second. I do the Post-it note thing, but then I also, of course, I can't find an example, but I've also written in this book. This is a book I'm reading for book club. So I want to be able to go back and reference things. So I have my Post-it notes to make it easy to find certain things, but I've written in the pages. Now, I don't write in a library book.
Right.
No. I don't even fold back corners or no. So I respect books in that way, but I do write in them. Yeah. Oh my word.
And I mean, great topic. If you paid money for the book, I mean, it's yours, it's your copy. I get that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just something that.
But I will not.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I did not expect to be the lone man out here. I thought you'd all be right there with me.
Isn't it fun when we surprise you?
Yeah, I love that.
It is.
Surprise each other. Oh, that's too funny. Well, that's actually this is a perfect segue into what our topic is for today. So our show title today is Intro or Ink and Imagination and Why Writing Matters. So on the topic of writing and books, we have chosen this topic because of the importance of writing. And I feel like that's so often, it can easily get lost.
Yes.
So we're going to talk today about some books that can support that idea of writing. And Anna, let's kick it off with you. What do you?
Thank you. So a bulk of my work in schools, and you can see I'm in a school, and so I apologize for the connectivity or their lack of thereof. But the bulk of my work is fitting it all in. Mm-hmm. So how do you fit in the reading, the skills work, the standards work, etc., and the writing? And how do I teach writing in a meaningful way that isn't rushed and that my kids aren't, just slapping something down and calling it a day, right? And so I started thinking about our topic and how we could weave in both the reading and the writing during that literacy time, during that 90-minute block. And so I went online and I looked at our ELA standards and I looked at the checkpoints. Checkpoint number one, everybody in Indiana is doing it right now, working very hard. And I saw a wonderful connection. So in checkpoint number one, it talks about nonfiction. Mm-hmm. And really finding the information in the nonfiction, specific points of a book, how the book is constructed, if you will, to make it a good informational book. And then, believe it or not, at least in grades 3 all the way through 8, mm-hmm. one of the writing standards is informational writing. Mm-hmm. Writing informational, right? Yeah. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is a definite tie-in.
It is, yeah.
And it's something that the teachers could very easily do all together, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So I was just going to show you a couple. The first one is Ladybug Life Cycle. Mm-hmm. It is by Joe McCory. And this would be first grade, kindergarten, first grade. Then we have a lovely book called Frieda, and it's by Jonah Winter. And this is an informational book all about Frida Kahlo.
Oh, I love that.
And then another book that I have is called The Grand Canyon. And this could definitely be used for grades 5 through 8, I would say. And that book is by Wendel Minor. So once again, we have a lot of books that we're already reading that we can tie in with a writing.
Right.
It would be a very easy tie-in. And once again, I'm just kind of looking at it in the context of how do we fit in writing?
Right.
Because that is the number one question that I have all the time.
Right.
How can I fit in some writing?
Right. And still make it meaningful.
So when we talk, that's right. That's right. So when we talked about our title for this month, that's what came to my mind. Once again, like always, we never check with each other. Yeah. So I might be clear out in left field. I don't know, but If I am, pretend I'm not. Okay.
No, I love it. I love it.
So,
Yeah.
so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Something that you said that I didn't think of this until you said the Grand Canyon book, but I could say the same thing about the Ladybug life cycle book. Those are both really kind of science and social studies text.
Yeah.
We could have kids writing, and I know science and social studies sometimes gets overlooked, one, in elementary school because there's not a block for it. But even in middle school, man, let's have them writing there. So we're double dipping, writing in multiple places. Anna, I'm glad you brought those up. I love that idea.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah. And Morgan, you mentioned it being meaningful. Do you want to unpack that any?
Yeah. I was thinking a lot, as you said, Anna, just preparing for our chat today. And I think that working with educators now, even thinking back on my own classroom experience, is creating writing experiences that are meaningful is more than just like, okay, we need to learn how to write a sentence and that's a box I need to check off, so let's do it. But creating like, hey, we've read this book, let's connect it back to other areas, like tying in the science and social studies, tying in like, how does this relate to what's going on in your life as a first grader or as a fourth grader, as an eighth grader, and creating those just meaningful writing experiences that will go beyond just what's being asked of them in the standard.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, honestly, that's where my books...
And let's face it, our kids need right now connection.
Yeah.
And by writing, not only are you making connections, but you're processing.
Yeah.
And I find for myself personally, I have a hard time understanding a topic, figure out how to say this. I have a hard time understanding a topic until I write about it. And like writing helps me process what I know.
Yeah.
And like make sense of it.
I feel like I read that somewhere recently or had that conversation with someone. Like that's yes, do that for sure.
Morgan, and I feel like I read it recently too. And then when Anna started talking, I was like, where did I read that? So we must have read the same thing.
Who knows?
I don't know. But my books I selected, like Anna says, we don't talk about these in advance, but mine goes along with that making connections and meaningful writing. And I didn't realize I had a theme to my books until I laid them all together this morning. And I'm like, oh, there's a theme within my own books here. This is not a text, the one I'm about to show you, that I would have used probably in my middle school classroom, but I have to bring it up. And I don't have the actual book. I printed off a copy of the cover. Dear Mr. Henshaw by Beverly Cleary. Is this a text you guys are familiar with?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. I think... so I looked it up. It was published in 1983. It won the Newbery in 84. And that would have been about the time I read it. And I remember this book being so impactful to my elementary school life. I don't know the main character's name. I don't remember. And I didn't write it down. But he's writing, Lee, there it is. He's writing to Mr. Henshaw, and that's how he processes.
I love that.
So we couldn't have this show and me not talk about this book. Anna, I'm betting you are very familiar with this text. Yeah. All right. So my two books that I wanted to bring today. One is a nonfiction, actually, Anna. I Will Always Write Back by...
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, you guys know this one?
I don't.
An excellent resource.
Yes, Anna, I agree. It's an excellent resource. It is long, but I always told kids, don't let that intimidate you. And I never had a kid read this book that they did not love it. It's pen pal letters back and forth between Caitlin Alifirenka and Martin Ganda. It starts as a class assignment in middle school and becomes a lifelong friendship.
I love that.
Oh,
That's so cool.
It's a great read. And Morgan, I would let you borrow my copy if I knew where it was. I own it, but I can't find it. So this is a library copy, but it's meaningful writing. And it's just years worth of their life writing back and forth. And
so fun.
It's fantastic. But then I also brought totally middle school appropriate. I will always write back. Completely middle school appropriate. And then Nick Stone has a trilogy. This is Dear Martin, which is the first one. This is definitely 7th grade and up, all 3 of them. There's Dear Martin. There is, Dear Justice and Dear Manny. So they're all the same idea, but the main character in this text is writing letters to Martin Luther King.
Oh.
Because something happens. I'm not going to go into what happens. A horrible thing happens, and Justice, the main character, feels like he needs Martin's advice. And so it's him writing to Dr. King. Now, the second book in the series, Dear Justice, are 2 characters that are living that can correspond. The third one, Dear Manny, is not, but it is a most excellent trilogy by Nick Stone. Not very long and just phenomenal. So again, I think my books show the writing to process and the importance of taking your thoughts and making them something tangible on a page, which I find is really hard for middle schoolers. Maybe it's hard for everybody.
Well,
but yeah.
Martie, what I love about that trilogy too, and I haven't read it, but I recognize the cover, is that it also shows that while you're writing to process, you could write to someone that's living. You could write to someone that's not living. You could write to a celebrity. You could write to a family member. Like just the different audiences that fit into that, I think is really cool too. And I like that the author took a different approach kind of with each one.
Yes. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but I love that point. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So what do you have, Morgan?
Well, as always, we kind of all.
So girls,
go ahead, Anna.
So I want to go back to the book that I said was a good resource. And, and can we revisit that for just a minute? What I was thinking about that is that it spans for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I want to say 5, 6, 7, maybe longer years.
Wow.
And I was thinking about that as a teacher teaching and using that book on how we also change as we get older and progress.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
So I loved that book because I also showed how we don't stay the same in our writing or our thinking and then our writing, etc. So it was really, for me, a good resource to show we're always progressing, or not, but hopefully we're always progressing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, because it's a great way to show that. It's so hard for kids to see it in themselves, but they can see it in someone else here. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Anna.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to add that one to my list.
Sorry, I continue going in and out.
That's okay. Quite all right. But yeah, I will always write back. Is fantastic. You'll enjoy it more.
I'm excited about that one. Okay, so I took a little bit of a different approach. So I was thinking from the lens of a first grade teacher, and for me as a classroom teacher, for a lot of them, that was their first real exposure to writing. I mean, yes, kindergarten, you're learning how to write your letters and all that, but first grade, we got to explore some really fun writing topics, like how-to writing and personal narratives and all of those. So when I was deciding what books to bring, and guys, I apologize, I had them all laid out on my kitchen counter and left without them. So Martie, I just put that in my brain to remember, like, oh, I can just print off a picture of it if I forget next time. But luckily these are all books that you guys are going to be familiar with. Laura Numeroff, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, If You Give a Moose a Muffin, If You Give a Pig a Pancake. Huge fans of those in our house right now. I've been a fan of those. My grandma introduced me to those books when I was a kid. But those are books that I often used in first grade writing because the ideas that they came up with of just like, oh, if they did this and then they can do this and then they can do this. It just got them thinking about like how a story could progress in a really fun and easy way for them to kind of tackle as new writers. And then the other one that is also a very popular one in my house currently, that's a good one to use in the classroom as well, is the We're Going on a Bear Hunt. Which I may have even mentioned that one in a past episode, but
it's a good one.
It's a good one because it's going through like the cause and effect. It's going through a timeline of events, like getting kiddos to recognize that and then to be able to turn it into a writing piece of their own. So those are all mentor texts that I used as a classroom teacher, just as that person that is exposing students to writing. For some of them, it was for the first time. So that was kind of my approach. We, as always, all kind of took a different lens, but this was a fun one to kind of explore and think about and think back on our experiences.
Yeah. And I think it's so important. We don't talk, writing is such a critical part of literacy that if somebody didn't sit down and write words, there's no words for us to read.
Right.
So it's such an important component that just doesn't get the press it deserves.
Right.
It really is. It doesn't. And it just we need to take the time to do it too.
Absolutely.
Yes. It is not just an add-on. It is a critical part of learning, honestly, how to think, in my opinion. It's critical. Yeah. So Anna, we are at our favorite.
And it takes time.
Yeah. Oh, it is such a process that cannot be rushed.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes time. Yeah. So Anna, favorite part of the show. What are you reading right now?
Girls, I love my book club. I love my book club. And the reason I love it so much is yet another book that was incredible.
That's awesome.
Have either one of you read The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek?
I have. It was actually.
Have you read the second one?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Yes, but it was also my book club.
But it was actually what?
Right. It was also my book club that brought that to my attention. And actually, book clubs are the topic of our next show. So we're like getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, that's going to be a fun one too.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything more. This book, I learned more from this book than you could possibly imagine. First of all, did you realize that there was a group of people called the Blue People of Kentucky? They actually, Morgan, were blue.
Really?
They suffered from their blood not being oxygenated. So they were blue, totally blue. What? And they were ostracized. They were treated so cruelly, so horribly in Kentucky. And I'm talking, well, this book the setting is in 1935 to 1943. So I'm talking pretty, I mean, at least in our grandparents' time, right?
Oh. Easily.
And so not only is it's historical fiction, so it has that to talk about, that whole topic. But also, did you realize that there was a group called the Pack Horse Librarians? So Morgan, they were in Kentucky, and it was a federally funded grant by the WPA.
Okay.
And these, they were predominantly women, and they went to the libraries in the bigger cities, and they got books, periodicals, different things to read. And they went into the hills of Appalachia and went and gave different reading materials to the people that lived there that had no access to books.
You know what? Now that you say
access.
that, I think that I read about that as a 4th grade teacher. It was in our curriculum.
Oh.
When I taught 4th grade. I'm
good.
Like, I know that story.
Yeah. Morgan, that is a great read. I know historical fiction is not your usual jam. It's a good one.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll dabble.
Oh, this one, you will. Yes, you will not put it down, Morgan. I promise you, you will not put this down. And then there's a sequel to this one as well. She only wrote 2.
Okay.
Yep.
And you want to talk about really accurate on numerous accounts in this book.
Okay.
The accuracy was unbelievable because, of course, you know me, I researched.
Yeah.
I researched. And I was stunned by the accuracy of this book. So the Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. And there is actually an area called Troublesome Creek.
Oh, wow.
Just an FYI.
Because I'm with Anna. I totally had the map out and I had to go find it because I wanted to see it on a map.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Morgan, I'm here to tell you, you won't put it down. You won't.
I love that.
I was telling a friend of mine. Yeah, I was telling a friend of mine about this. She got it at the library. I mean, just read it just like that. And she said, I'm getting the second one now.
Oh,
I mean, that's how great this book was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So Morgan, I have seen your titles and I'm really curious about one. What are you reading right now?
Okay. So you know me, I'm always listening to one and then reading one. So I just finished it because I flew through it, couldn't put it down, couldn't stop listening to it. It is called One of Our Own by Lucinda Berry. And this was interesting to me. I think I saw it on like a Facebook group for book lovers and it caught my eye. And when I was doing some research to prepare for today, I realized that it is actually an audiobook, like a standalone audiobook. And then it was so popular that she then turned it into an ebook. But I've never really experienced that before where it's not a physical book first and then it gets turned into an audiobook or they release both at the same time. Like it was exclusively an audiobook. And the other cool thing about it, which it's a mystery, it just kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And if either of you, I am a fan of Criminal Minds, but the woman that plays JJ in Criminal Minds, AJ Cook is her name. She narrates it.
Oh.
And so she obviously
fun.
Yeah. And so she just does, it's very well done. And it's one of those that it's just like right from the beginning, you're intrigued. And I think I listened to it in like less than 48 hours. Like every I just was sticking my headphones in to try and read it or listen to it.
Yeah. But you know, Morgan, that is wonderful that they pick somebody that is already doing acting or whatever in that genre. Exactly. That makes sense because how many times have you listened to a book that you thought, oh, this isn't the right voice?
Man,
or I'm not going to continue on with this.
Yeah. So that's the one I'm listening to or listened to. Just finished it. And then the other one is The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. So that is actually Kate Quinn is a historical fiction author. Right. And I'm not too far into this one, but it also has the historical fiction layer, but there's a mystery as well. So it's there's and this isn't giving anything away, but someone gets murdered at the beginning and then it's backtracks years and there's this whole story. So I've read a couple of Kate Quinn's books and really enjoyed it, but this was actually a book that my book club read before I joined. So they read it a couple years ago. And one of the girls was like, I think you'd really like this one. You should go back and read it. So she brought it to me and I've been reading it.
I love it. And look at the book club connection we got going on. Yours was recommended to you. Anna's was a book club book. Mine is also my book club book for this month. And So I Roar by Abi Dare or Dare. This is the second in this with these characters. The first is called The Girl with the Louding Voice.
Which you've told me about, I think. Or you've told me about it at least.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so my book club picked this, not knowing that it's a second. And so somebody was telling a friend that, this is what we were reading for book club. And they were like, well, did you know it's a second? And the lady was like, no. And so she told her about the first one. So then a bunch of us on our own went and read the first one, The Girl with the Louding Voice. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then this one picks up basically right where the last one left off. I mean, like one chapter ends and then you start, but you could totally read this one on its own. You wouldn't have the rich characters that you already know. I'm running out of time, so Martie's gonna have to read real fast because book club is soon and Martie's not done with the book. Yeah. So I can't really talk about like how it ends or anything because I don't know, but I can tell you I like it. Okay. And I like it's a very female heavy series.
Okay.
There are male characters, but lots of female characters. It's honestly probably someone's dissertation waiting to happen looking at the female characters in this text. But it's phenomenal. So there's my book for this time.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So we'll be back in October just talking about book clubs, which is super cool. Yeah. Anna, were you going to say something there?
No, I was just going to say I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm super excited. This was a great topic, though, ladies. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, we will end with be well.
Do good work.
Keep in touch.